Okay, here's a dish to sit back on YouTube and just indulge in. Something really nice today. This is cheesy leeks. Super warm, super comforting. That cheap, easy, quick dinner that's just deeply satisfying. Taking a very humble ingredient, making it celebrate, making it front and center, but giving it all the unctuousness to deliver pleasure upon pleasure. Okay, we've got some beautiful leeks here, just been washed, top and tailed, diced up. There's some garlic there as well, quite important. This is the cheese, which is a mix of Comte and cheddar. That's a little bit of butter and flour. That's going to form a roux with the milk, a little bit of white wine, and we've got some breadcrumb there to finish. Not a lot going on, but a lot at the end. What's nice about these leeks is they sort of lend themselves to being able to be diced quite nicely. Just take them like that. Take this sort of woody root out of the middle. They don't all have that, sometimes they do. Cut them into blocks and they give you the opportunity to make pretty nice squares. Pretty straightforward. Not looking for anything too neat and precise, but I think it's important to understand whenever we're cutting things like this, it's so that everything cooks at the same time. It's not so that everything is sort of super precise. It's more so that everything cooks at the same time. So what we need to do is pop some butter in our pan. We are effectively making a roux, a bechamel if you like. So we want plenty of butter. I'm not weighing any of this. I don't even know if I can give you the recipe. It's just very simple. Don't overthink this. There's a couple of principles, but that's it. Don't overthink it. So into our pan goes our leeks. Let those sweat down from cold. Very important we start cold. And that's really important. Then we've got some garlic, which I'm just going to finely slice. That can go in there. You could grate it, but I just think it doesn't need to be that intense. It can just sit in there as another texture. It sits quite nicely with the leeks. I'm going to turn that temperature up a little bit now. In goes the garlic. Turn that up a bit. Let's get a few more leeks in there. There we go. That's probably enough. Otherwise, if you put too many in here now, it's just going to boil. We want enough in there that, with enough intensity of heat, that there's going to be an emulsion happen. To get that to happen, we need to add salt. So all the salt for the whole pan, the whole thing needs to go in now, and that's really important. Don't be putting that in at the end. Put it in now. It's going to make the leeks bleed. It's going to give us that emulsion. It's going to soften the leeks. It's going to make it happen much quicker. In there's going to go some pepper, some lovely black pepper. Like so. And then we're just going to give that a little mix and just let all that melt down now. Because the salt's in there, really importantly, what happens is it allows you to turn up that heat, and you're not going to brown it. We don't want to burn or brown these leeks. That's really important. I think we can put a few more in there, Sam. I definitely wouldn't go more than that, but they're melting down at a rapid rate, and that's great. Leeks are a great thing. They're oniony, but they're friendly. They're sweet, but they're textured. And this dish is just enhancing that with butter and flour and milk and white wine and breadcrumbs on top, and you're just sort of celebrating a humble ingredient. I think it's a great side dish as a roast, but I also think it makes a main course. And during lockdown, my kids were asking me to make this dish all the time. We would just have this with a hunk of sourdough bread and a really big pan of this. We make it all the time. And it was really quick, and they were like, "Oh, Dad, can we have the cheesy leeks?" I'm like, "Yeah, no drama, like a 10-minute job." And I quite liked it. Bit of cured ham on the side, bit of cold ham, warm cheesy leeks, bit of sourdough. You get the picture. I think that's a pretty nice dinner. But it does feel like student food, but I think this is elevating it and making it a bit more interesting. But I am doing this video because my kids asked me to, so there you go. This is for you kids. If you have Yorkshire pudding at Christmas dinner, you are an idiot. Or just greedy. Or you've not thought things through. Because if you have Yorkshire pudding with a Christmas dinner, you've not left yourself enough room for the Stilton and port, for the mince pie, for the Christmas pudding, and the clementine, and the chocolates. you've got to pace yourself. Christmas dinner, you start putting flipping Yorkshire puddings in there. It's about pacing yourself. If you go for a run, you've got to pace yourself. You have Christmas dinner, you've got to pace yourself. Start eating Yorkshire puddings, you've cut out all the pleasure of a mince pie, and that's daft. So don't do that. There we go. What's happening here? Really, it's quite nice to see this slowly happen. I wouldn't normally stand over and do it. I'd just chuck it in the pan and walk off. But what's nice to see is that there's a lovely emulsion. Can you capture that sound? Look at this water coming out here. I haven't put any water in there. That's the leeks bleeding. So that's really important. The salt has drawn out that moisture from the leeks and is giving us all that moisture, you see? That water content leaving the leeks is intensifying the leek. That's what's happening there. Okay, we don't want to go too far because I don't want to end up with leeks that are kind of all horrible and overcooked. So, into that now, a little drop of white wine. Doesn't feel very student-like, but a little bit of white wine. Keep that heat right up to get that wine straight down. It's just giving us some depth and flavour and layering because there's not much to this other than the leeks and the cheese. So the wine's just going to help cut through, give us acidity that's going to cut the cheesiness in there. So that's quite important. So get that wine down. Now we're going to go in with some flour. I'm not weighing this, but you want about half the volume of the butter. Enough to make a thick roux, but not crazy. And if it's too thick, see how that's going to now, basically that flour is going to go in there, soak up the butter, soak up the liquid, and give us that thickening agent for the milk when it goes in. That's going to basically create that sort of unctuousness and texture that we're looking for. I'm going to put a tiny bit more flour in there. If you put too much flour, what happens is your bechamel is then too thick. If the bechamel is too thick, what will happen is, in the oven, it will split. So what is split? Basically, it means that all the liquids have left the fats and they're all separate, and you've just not got this really unctuous, delicious thing anymore that's really harmonious. You've just got something that's all kind of separated out. In with the milk. Let's get enough milk in there to create enough of that bechamel so that we've got a bechamel happening, but not too much that the whole thing's wet and soupy. We don't want that. Keep mixing it around. I want to blend that flour in there. So sort of making a roux, but you don't have the opportunity to sort of whisk out any lumps. So just be cautious with that as it goes in. This feels like an incredibly simple thing to do for me, but there we go. It's just a nice thing, isn't it? Quite a cool thing. You could enhance this. You could put some smoked haddock in it. You can pop in there some potatoes in that as well. There's loads of stuff you can do with it. I'd actually probably serve that with some nice cold smoked mackerel. I think that would be fantastic. So I'm monitoring that milk as it goes in. You can see that bechamel starting to happen now, right? Let's go in with a bit more. We'll take all that milk, I think. Adam's got that right. Not me, the other Adam has got that right, I think. What I need to do is let that come up to the boil. As it comes up, I'm going to get to see for the first time how thick that's going to be. And then I can sort of judge my bechamel and my cheesy leeks and work out if that's going to give me the result I want. So let that come up nicely. Really nice. I'm also just going to have a little taste of that now, just to make sure we've got the salt right. Yeah. I put some, I feel like it needs nutmeg. I always think bechamel needs nutmeg. I just think that would be fantastic. Somebody has just scurried off to get me nutmeg, which is very nice of them. But I'm going to add nutmeg because I think it will be nice. Right, that bechamel for me looks bang on. Can you see that? It's still really loose and double cream consistency sort of thing. It's not overly thick. Our leeks are not completely overcooked because they're going to get another 10 minutes in the oven, don't forget. So that's about right there. Let's go in with some cheese. This cheese looks absolutely obsessive, but let's go in with this cheese. Let's turn that down. And let's get that cheese folded in nicely. Now we can turn the heat right off. We just want to mix. We don't need to cook that cheese in there. No need for that. And here it is. Here's my Thank you very much. Here's my nutmeg. I can't do this without nutmeg. It wasn't in the original recipe, but I think it belongs in here because nutmeg and bechamel are just best friends. Bit of fresh nutmeg. There is nothing like the smell of beautiful fresh nutmeg. There it goes. That cheese is melting. I've used a bit of Gruyere because it's flavourful and sort of got that really strong cheesy flavour. Then we used the cheddar as well. It's a blend of both, so we're getting that sort of stringiness. Can you see that sort of stringiness that's going on already? That's what we're looking for at the other end of it. That's the bit the kids like. There we go. This looks absolutely perfect for me, but I think I'm just going to add so it's perfect. I'm adding that much more milk, tiny bit more, and that's actually to allow for the evaporation that's going to happen in the oven. Right, there we go. I'm going to add some chopped chives now because chives, leeks, onion family, all good. Nice green in there as well, keep the whole thing fresh and vibrant. Some nice chopped fresh chives. You could use spring onions, that would work brilliantly as well. If you don't have lots of lovely people like I do to chop chives for you. Right, let's get that into a vessel. Let's get that in the oven. Let's get supper made. Looks fairly jolly to me. Okay, then we've got some lovely fresh breadcrumbs. I don't want to put loads. Don't be tempted to put tons of breadcrumb because that's going to soak up all the bechamel and kind of make it a bit stodgy. It's more about just creating another texture. Those breadcrumbs have got a few chives in it as well. And then I just had a tiny bit of that cheese left, I think. I'm just going to go. I preheated my oven to 180. That's hot enough. Don't be putting the oven at 200 because you're just going to kind of shock it and split that bechamel. You don't want to do that. 180 is absolutely fine. Give this about 12 minutes. It's hot already, but you equally could have that in the fridge set like that on a Saturday and serve it on Sunday lunch or with your guests, whatever. If you do that, it needs 25 minutes to get hot in the oven. So in the oven it goes. Wish it luck. Do you want the window silver? This is my hobbly bubbly cheesy leeks. That's had literally 12 minutes in a medium hot oven. Have to say it looks pretty damn good. I wonder if it'd be like using blue cheese. I think blue cheese would be really nice actually. Quite strong, quite intense. Probably not right for your roast dinner. But I reckon blue cheese will be fantastic. This is probably hotter than the sun. It's going to be nuclear, but look at that. That crust on top's really nice with the breadcrumb. What's important here, look at this, is that the emulsion hasn't split. That cheese sauce is not full of water from the leeks. It's not split between the fat and the dairy and the milk. It's just perfect, right? And the leeks are not completely overcooked. But yet they are cooked enough to be sweet. Humble, rich, sophisticated. If you cook it properly, bloody lovely.